Hello viewers, welcome again to another beautiful and exciting episode on Marital TV. And today we have another beautiful guest that will be sharing a marital journey and experiences with us. So before we start things off, we'd like to introduce our guest. Welcome out to the show. We'd like you to introduce yourself and share a bit about how you met your spouse.
Hello everyone. I'm so glad to be on this program, and I want to thank the producers and everyone involved. God bless you, Jesus. Okay, so my name is Oluwatomi Olabike Ndezi. From the surname you should know I am Marital, why I am valid. I am a safety officer and I got married 2020, December 5th, 2020. That means my marriage is just 3 years and 5 months. Okay, I met my spouse. So the funny one, he was actually my boss in the university. Not really boss per se, but I was in 400 level. So for my project work, I was like, I had a supervisor that was a prof. But that prof don't see us directly. You had to see his PA. That PA is like the most brilliant student of the master student also. So it happened to be Kennedy in this. So I was meeting up with him and I was the group, like I was the leader of my group. So I would say that was how our friendship started. That was not a relationship actually. Because it's like my garden where I was a student. So after school, got talking, we were still talking and all that. But the relationship really started 2018. I was actually, so it was my friend from 2014 down to 2018, and then he started telling me about it 2017, but I got serious about the whole thing 2018 because I was like, you guy, wow. But now I'm glad as God we have it. Okay, God said yes, I'm moving to the relationship. And yeah.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So you are like in an intertribal marriage.
It's not like I am.
Oh, wow, you are in it. So what was like the culture shock for you when you got married to an Igbo man, seeing that you both are from two different states and way of life?
Okay, let me state that was actually the first thing that wanted me to run away from the relationship, because I was like, well, we are two different cultures. Although it was giving birth to Illinois, people need to actually grow up in it to knowing a lot of stuff about Yoruba, but that does not still negate the fact that I'm an Igbo man. So we culture shock. There was really nothing shocking about the whole thing because their family is this Igbo family that actually accept everybody. So when we got to know each other, there was really nothing serious about, okay, these are the things that you should not do, these are the things that you should do. So I need to personally research myself on how to blend into their culture. So majorly I was just saying the food, the language. I had to learn some of the food and the language till now. I don't know more than okay.
So talking about language, in terms of communication, how do you both handle conflicts?
Okay, how do we handle conflicts? Let me say our language barrier doesn't even stop, like doesn't have anything to do with handling conflict. Yes, because you understand Yoruba perfectly and you can speak it. So what we speak in our home is both Yoruba and English. So when it comes to conflict, there is nothing like Yoruba. How do we handle conflict? I think one of the ways that we do is we make sure that we are not both shouting at the same time. Somebody is at the giving side, the other person is at the receiving side. I've come to understand that about ourselves, and majorly is always at the receiving side anyways. One is at the giving side. So when that happens, it's always the reserved one. Like you want to be calm, listen to everything and just pass out at that moment. Let it slide. Then thereafter we look for a very good time to discuss it better. Meaning that most times we don't react to situations, we respond. That is how we handle conflict. We respond to the situation so that we can get to the bottom.
Okay, so seeing that you guys have been friends since 2014, that means you guys you have this connection together you say that you married your friend.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you prioritize intimacy and emotional connection?
Okay. To be honest, before we got married, we actually connect, like our connection emotionally and intimacy was very strong. Like it was really, really, really tight. Like you can say anything to you can say anything to me, even before we got married. But funny enough, after we got married, it was as if we get to know each other more. So I get to enter into his space. He entered into mine. So we saw that there are a lot of differences that we need to deal with. So with all sincerity, the first year of the marriage, we were like, give me space with that. I'll give you space too. Like you don't want to crawl into each other's space. So we noticed that the intimacy was here, but we had to be intentional. That we are now more into each other. So we had to go all over again, back to our friendship, where we tell about ourselves anything. We talk about anything, make sure that the way we gist. While we're in a relationship, before we sleep also, make sure we gist, and we're just intentional. We use the word intentionality for our intimacy and emotional connection. Because if not for the being intentional, like I have to intentionally sit and talk about it. It's okay, we are drafting about it, guys. And we just go on. This was known as why we were in the relationship. So we had to be intentional about our relationship.
Okay, talking about being intentional. You mentioned that you work in the safety department. Yeah, so how do you maintain a healthy work-life balance as a couple?
Okay. Well, I just started work last year. So for me, right before I got married, I knew like the hierarchy of life. For me, the first person I prioritize is God. Thereafter, I've come to understand that after God, my family is the least. So even while I was single, I prioritized my parents and my sisters above every other thing. So and from there, I know that every other thing follows. Because money, I will still have to fall back to the family. So when I got married, it became like that too. I knew that God after God is my family. So even as I was, when I wanted to study this work, I had to go on a 6 months extensive training. And I was just using that as an example. I had to know that it is real work. The fact that I'm in a rigorous training should not stop me from handling my responsibility back at home. Thank God for my husband, he was also very helpful. It was not too demanding. So I was really able to balance the whole thing. And up till now, we're still able to balance because we understand each other's work and we are both paying our responsibility.
Okay, do you have kids?
Yes, actually. I have a very beautiful boy.
Okay, boy. How do you both, have you ever had disagreements about raising your child before? Seeing that, okay, you grew up from a different background, this is how I want my child to be. Have you guys, had a disagreement about parenting?
Yes. I think that one it should be normal for two different people growing up. But we're able to find a common ground because of our core values. Because we actually had core values before we got into marriage. So any differences, we still have to come back to our core values. So I think that was what made it easy for us. There is even a funny one, it was the name. I was like, since I'm Yoruba, the name was also shown now that my baby is also, and I was like, no, now when the first boy, it has to be this. And so we had to actually come back to one of our core values, which is for every decision we make, we have to vote. If God is not talking, then we are not moving on with that decision. So I remember us praying even before we had given us we prayed and God gave us a name, specific names that's going to be. So I think that one actually settled the so say now, if you want to have any, okay, this is the school that I should go, this is not the school that I should go, we come back to one of our neighbors, okay, what are the things to say this guy? In those days will be the basis for our decisions.
So it's safe to say that God plays a major role in your decision making as a couple.
Definitely.
Wow. So if you are given an opportunity to advise newlyweds or those that want to go into marriage, what advice would you give to them to hold on to?
Okay. Talking from personal experience and from my mentor, because for me I have a lot of people that look up to when it comes to life. And one major thing I will tell them is please please, okay, one of the major things that I will tell them is, please don't do it because others are doing it. Don't do it because of peer pressure. I know this is a very good talk that we all have, but it's time to start following it. Because people tend to get married because my mate are getting married, I am getting married. That is not it. As long as you are a child of God, so there is nothing I see personally. I have to involve God because God has been my life all along. As long as you're a child of God, you need to stay focused and hear God. Because that is when you will have it. Like I always say, there is time for everything. The scripture even says the fact that you're in a relationship does not even determine that I am ready to get married. There is a timing for this thing. So let God be the one that will give you time so that when you get in, you find it easy. And please, my advice to all Christian sisters and even anybody that wants to get married is find a word for your footing. There is a word from God for your marriage. When challenges come, because there is no marriage, like I said, I'm just 3 years, 5 months. I cannot count the number of challenges that we have had. But when there is this challenge, when there is this, like, what will I say? Anxieties, worries, the things that I want to even lead you to say, what am I doing in this relationship? One of the things that you fall back to is the word of God. And we know that when you have the word of God and you so much believe in it, to be able to stand on it, and it will take you through any storm in life. So just to advise, be sure that it is good. Be sure you are ready, and then please have a word from God for you to the marriage.
Okay, so finally, about finances. You know, finances play like a major role in terms of marriage. How do you both handle finances, and are you both the spending type, or one is saving, one is spending? So how is your financial life as a married woman?
You have to be honest, right?
Yes.
I love joking. Sincerely, we actually have a spender and a saver. Fortunately, unfortunately, I am the spender saver.
Okay.
I can save at the same time I can spend. But while my husband is the saver, like we have to save first before spending. So we have to come to a conclusion that although we might not have a joint account, but we have a common purse. So what we do by that is, this is what we want to spend for the month, this is what we're going for food, this is what we're going for travel. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Then we reach a common goal. Certain percentage comes from you. Because I personally say I don't want to be, it's not possible, I cannot be like this. I just have to put in something. So I told him that a certain percentage will come in from me to join it together.
Okay, viewers, there you have it, and I hope you've taken note and you've learned one or two things. One thing I took from this session is you must involve God and also have a word for your footing. Don't just go into marriage because others are doing it. Until we see you next time, we love you, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Importantly, subscribe and also comment, and let's hear your views. Bye.